An encounter with the divine or sacred feminine will change your life, like will 100% change your life if you allow it. And the type of woman, the type of foods, the type of environments that you prefer are going to be highly dependent on your constitution, on these certain things that I'm gonna dive into this video. This video was inspired by my friend Brian, my soul brother. We're literally going through the same thing. It's crazy. I'll link his video down below where he talks about hot and cooling women and other aspects of his journey. So in both our journeys, we both realized we've been in the trenches, all right? We've been through quite a lot together, and we thought we were on the right path, you know, grinding it out and pushing ourselves, and okay, that's good, right? It's good as men to connect to that warrior type of energy and to be disciplined and wake up early, work out, whatever. But what we were missing was our soul. There's something just we weren't connecting with, and somehow this encounter with a feminine has opened up the pathway to our inner feminine, and where we realize we have this dance with a feminine. Instead of rejecting the feminine or even projecting it outward, we've realized that we have it within us, and we're tapping into it both internally and externally in different ways in order to balance the masculine force within us. So when you start talking about cooling and hot women, a lot of this comes from the way of the superior man. He's not the one who invented it, but he packaged it in a way that makes sense. So hot and cooling women, most men are going to know what that is intuitively. Like, it's kind of easy to understand, right? Hot women, and I mean not hot like hot temperature wise, okay? We're talking about the temperature of feminine energy, because everything has a temperature to it. So hot women, we get the stereotype of the, you know, hot-headed Latina or the fiery redheaded, right? These are generalizations, but they have some truth to it, right? Like that hot energy, that passionate energy, people are attracted to that. While with the cooling energy, we have like a cooling blonde, you know, like a very nurturing or more replenishing type of energy. Of course, these are generalizations, but generally that feminine energy has a different thermostat, right? And the same with masculine energy. There's, you know, very hot-blooded men, and they're more relaxed, stoic, cooling, replenishing men. So when I was reading this, studying it, and observing it, obviously, I'm like, this is the same thing in herbalism, actually. In herbal medicine, there are warming and cooling plants. Now think about it. Everybody has a constitution. A constitution is basically how your body is. Some people have hot constitutions. They're hot. They get hot easily. They work a lot. And then some people have more cooling, slow. They tend to get cold easier, you know, etc., etc. So plants also have these characteristics, okay? Plants also either provide usually a warming action or a cooling action. So the type of plant that you're gonna take depends on what constitution you're trying to treat. So if you're hot and you give yourself warming plants, you get even hotter, you're going to dry out. It's not going to be compatible with your body. And if you have a cooling constitution, you're cold, your digestion's a little slow, etc., etc., you're not really going to benefit from having more cooling herbs. Like you're cooling out the vital fire. So what you want instead is a warm herb, something to warm your coldness, and vice versa. If you have a hot constitution, you want to cool it down. As for me, in Ayurveda, there's the three tridosha constitution. There's Pitta, Vata, and Kapha, and they're based off the elements. So Pitta is hot, and I have a primarily hot or Pitta constitution. And Vata is cool, is cold, is dry, and Kapha is also cold but wet, if I remember correctly. There's a quiz you can take online. You can just Google Ayurveda quiz or Ayurveda test. I'll spell it out for you either in the description or here when I edit it, and you could find out what your primary constitution is. It's a really good quiz. It's by Banyan Botanicals, I believe, but that will point you in the right direction. So with women, for me, I would say throughout my life, it's been 50-50 of hot and cool women. But generally, I've always enjoyed and preferred cool women because I run hot. Not just through Ayurveda, but most of the situations I put myself in are very heating. I love to work out. I'm very passionate. I'm like constantly striving for goals. I'm very, very goal oriented. I'm very yang, very masculine, but in that like hot way. But then there have been periods of my life where I've been lazy, I've been depressed, and that's where that more maybe hot, hot woman would benefit my life. But generally, cool women have been my preference. And now that I know these things, I'm like, yeah, like what makes sense in my life is the cool women. I want to go home and I don't want to argue. I want to go home and feel replenished. A nice, David Data says it's like drinking an ice cold tea in a hot summer day. That's the type of energy I want to be in. So that's the type of energy I want to go home to a woman who is cooling. While with a hot woman, of course I'll enjoy it, but I don't want to go home and, I'm already passionate. I'm burnt out. Like the whole day I've been boom, 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 boom. And then I'm like, damn, I don't have the energy for this right now. I just need to chill. Literally, like it's in the word, chill. So it's important to determine like what it is that complements you better. And the thing is, it's going to change over time. And that's normal because circumstances in our lives change. So let's say you're in a committed relationship with a hot woman because you love that fire and passion. That's what you feel you need in your life. That's what complements your life. But suddenly you're working extra hard. You're constantly exposing yourself to hot situations. Like you're working overtime, your boss is hot, or maybe you are the boss and you have to turn on that thermostat and there's a wick lit under your ass. So you coming home to someone hot might be very difficult. It might be like, damn, I need something like soothing. I don't need something irritating right now. Well, if you're committed to that relationship, you're not going to just go out there and find another woman. What you're going to do instead is balance yourself out. And that could look like eating cooling foods, or in this situation, doing activities that are cooling, like take a cold plunge. So there are things that we can do in our situations to balance that constitution, to balance whatever is going on. So begin to notice the imbalance in your life of cooling and warming or heating. What does that look like right now? What is the primary pattern you've noticed in your life? Is it different now? And in what ways can you provide that balance to yourself? Because the solution isn't necessarily women, but when we're in partnership, with our woman, this is important to consider. But like I said, we have control of the circumstance. We have control of what we can do and provide for ourselves. For example, for me, I am Pitta primarily, Pitta and Vata. And for me, it's just, I'm going to prefer a cooling woman. And I know that now. So now I'm like, okay, we can work together and the relationship will be better, ideally. And now that I know, what foods are cooling, what herbs are cooling, how to provide that cooling to myself, I can be a better man. I can be a better partner. I can be a better friend. Anyway, ask those questions to yourself, and you'll find that it'll actually benefit you quite a lot, especially in this time. And the gift of the feminine is one of the best gifts a man can have. One of the best gifts, whether it's the feminine of nature, of being immersed in her, the femininity of a woman that you love, or the femininity within yourself. Because tapping into that as a man is absolutely essential. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know if you've had a preference of women. Do you like cooling, hot, or like what is your constitution? If you take the quiz, let me know. And if you like these videos, subscribe and like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.